Happy Monday, and welcome back to my channel. I am Olivia B. Shepherd, your transformation coach and mentor. I help women like myself who suffer from mental illnesses. I help them create the life that they deserve to live by transforming the way they see the limited beliefs about themselves. So, welcome again to another 3-Tip Monday. This is where I give you 3 tips to help you successfully get through Monday and the rest of the week. This week I know that we're still into quarantine and or lockdown, whatever you want to call it at this point. I know that we're still doing this, and so a lot of us are not going out much. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit just to kind of give you some tips to be able to survive and thrive this week mentally. So this week your tips are going to be 3 ways to stay mentally healthy on Monday and throughout the rest of the week. Tip 1, do not consume any news at the beginning of your week. On Mondays, when you get up, after you pray, after you meditate, after you get the kids together, whatever you decide to do in the mornings, do not start your week off listening to the news. Coming from a woman who loves the news, coming from a woman who is, I eat, live, sleep, and breathe politics. I love politics. I love the news. I have news. If I'm not reading the news, I'm listening to the news on my podcast. If I'm not listening to it in my radio, in my car, I love the news. But I also know how mentally unhealthy the news can be. And especially during this time when we are suffering from this coronavirus, there are so many stories now that are planted on the news about those who are dying from the disease and who are dying alone. So you hear stories of mothers, who are dying alone, children who are dying alone, survivors of cancer who survived cancer and died from the coronavirus. To stay mentally healthy, do not consume news the day of the week, okay? Because what this does is it triggers whatever you had going on in your mind. If you suffer from any type of mental illness, and if you suffer from PTSD like I do, if you suffer from a lot of trauma, you don't want to consume news because this will trigger whatever's going on in your brain. And you don't need that at the beginning of the week because you need to focus at the beginning of the week. And listening to news will definitely keep you off track. It will definitely take you downhill from the beginning. Okay? So do not consume news at the beginning of your week on Mondays to keep your mental stability. You do not need to consume news. Okay? Tip number 2, set a schedule. I know that it's hard to set a schedule, or you think you can't set a schedule because, hey, we don't have a schedule. We're not working. We always set a schedule because we know that we're leaving, we're going, we're coming. We have all those things going on when we're leaving the house. But how do you set a schedule or routine when you're actually in your house and you're not leaving? Well, you know what? You have to do it. You have to set a schedule because what happens is mentally, if everything is haywired, you mentally are losing it. Your anxiety level is going to go up because you can't focus on one thing or the next thing. Everything is just jumbled up in pieces, okay? So if you have kids, you know that you all are schooling. So what you need to do is I guess there's a routine already set for you all for that. But then once they're done, you're just letting them go haywire, or the house is all haywire. You don't have things together. You don't have your schedule together. You need to set a schedule. I don't care if you're leaving the house or not. There needs to be a schedule for you to follow, not just for yourself and your family, but for your mental health. It keeps you from being so self-destructive because what happens is if you don't follow a routine, we start to worry. If you don't follow a routine, you start to stress out. If you don't follow a routine, you start to feel like you don't have it all together. So now you're just all your brain is all over the place and you're not getting anything done. So step number two, set a schedule. Tip 3, And I know that this one right here is just like what you hear all the time. You know, you probably hear it from your wellness gurus, you probably hear it from your meditation gurus, but I am here to tell you to breathe. Tip 3 is just to breathe. It is okay if you are not busy. It is okay if you are not productive. It is okay if you don't get every single thing done. Okay? Because what happens is, for those of us who do suffer from mental illnesses, we have a tendency to be tired. We have a tendency to be exhausted from doing nothing sometimes. That's how it works. That's how our brains function. And for those of you all who suffer from chronic illnesses, it's even harder for you all to do things because you are tired. Your body aches. Your mind is aching. Everything about you hurts. So just breathe. Just breathe. If you do get something done Monday and Tuesday, and you're like happy, like, okay, I got this done, but then your brain is like, up here, up here, up here. Breathe. It is okay to breathe. It is okay not to be productive all the time. You're going to get things done. You're just going to get them done at a slower pace than some of the people that we know. Because we hear it all the time with different coaches that tell us, this is the time you need to be successfully living your dreams. This is the time for you to be doing this. This is the time for you. Well, you know what? Those are the coaches who don't actually suffer from what we suffer from. And as your coach who also suffers from mental illnesses, I know that you need to breathe. There's not, like right now, I constantly take naps. I take naps. I don't care what time of the day it is. If I feel that I need to lay down, I will lay down. I will breathe. I will put my phone down. I will tell my husband, don't bother me. I will tell my son, don't bother me. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be on social media. I need my time to breathe. It's not, I like to say it's not only just for me, but really it is for the health of them too. Because if I am not laying down, napping, and trying to breathe and catch my breath, then it's all hell breaks loose when I'm grouchy, when I'm upset, when I'm tired. So it is okay to breathe. You are not a bad parent if you want to sit down for 5 minutes. You are not a bad coach if you want to take a couple of days off from posting. You are not a bad person if you don't want to do anything. You're not a bad person. Breathe. That's all you have to do is breathe. Even if you're just breathing and just sitting there doing nothing, it is okay. Okay? So thank you for tuning in. These are going to be your 3 tips to take into your Monday so that you can have a productive Monday and a productive week. First tip, do not consume news at the beginning of your week. Absolutely no news at the beginning of your week. Number 2, I'm going to need you all to set a schedule. There needs to be a schedule set for you all to be able to go by to keep you mentally stable throughout the week. And 3, breathe. Just breathe. It's just plain and simple. I don't care if you're breathing for 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 20 minutes. Just breathe. Okay? And these are your tips for your Monday to have a successful Monday. I am rooting for you all. I am constantly rooting for you all. Okay? Have a great week. Have a great Monday. And know that it is okay not to be okay, but you just can't stay that way. Have a great week. Bye.